Let me open the notepad. Today we'll see the database connectivity. So today we'll learn how to connect application with database in ASP.NET. So to connect ASP with .NET. So first we need to create the table in first we need to create the table in the database. So basically when we create a table, the connectivity portion is known as ADO.NET. So this portion is actually known as ADO.NET. So if I show you here this one, so this is the .NET framework architecture. Actually, this is our application, web application, which we are making. So ADO.NET, ADO stands for Active Database Object, and .NET is a framework. So it helps us to connect to the database. Okay. So basically, ADO here stands for Active Database Connection using .NET framework. Okay. So, so in order to connect here, we require two type of libraries. So library requirement is there are libraries basically. A lot of libraries are there which we need to connect here. So first one is using system.data. First one. The second one is using system.data.sql client. Okay. So there are two basically which we use. Okay. So these two libraries are basically required in order to get connected to the database. And in order to check the database connectivity, we require some objects. So first I told you we need to create the table here on the database. So first let's connect it from here. So if you click the SQL authentication mode here, and suppose I'm putting the same pass, let's see whether it is. So username we have made as password is, see whether it is. Okay, this password is not working. So we will connect only with the Windows one. We'll connect it here. Okay. So once we connect, so from once we connect it here, you will get your server name from here. Okay. And the authentication method you need to select, and then you need to connect. Okay. So you go to more options. We have more options, but we are not going to use them. So let's get back to this. So we need to create the table in the database. So for creating the table, you all know that we need to write down the create command. So I have already created one table and I have inserted one data here. Okay. So for connecting, we need to have that create table command here. Uh, then we create the column names. So like here we have created already like username, that is will be a varchar type, And then we have in roll number, that is integer type. Then we have your admission. So in the admission one, we can write down the type like varchar only I'm writing here, but you can put other types also. And in the last one is the location. So in the location one, I'm also writing the varchar only. On varchar 2, I will use it. Okay, that is the other version of varchar. So after creating this, then we will move to the SQL portion of this, means how to do this. So we need to go to the application portion first. We need to create one page here first, from where we are going to connect it to this. I will go to the add web form, and then I will write down here register one. Okay, so I'm just creating this page here. So I'm adding the table here. Okay, so from here we'll have this text box and everything else here. So from here we will take the control text box. I'm writing username here in this box, and so I will just reduce this little. I only wanted to have two things here in this table, username and enrollment. So I will create two only, just we wanted to check it. So we will have this here column as enrollment number, and I will copy this and I will put it here. And here I will have one submit button. So I will keep one button here. I will keep one button here. So I will here this is insert button code, and here I will have one cancel button code. Okay. Yes. So let's check it again here once more. Okay, so this one is also working here. Okay. So this one is active now. So let's check this queries to check it. Oh, that's good. Okay, it is working. So we have used this one. So in order to connect, first we need to write these two libraries into the database connectivity, and then we'll check. So I will just cut it this one here and put it here. I'll cut this one also and I'll put it here. And I will put one grid view here. So in the data control, we'll have this review contact. And okay, so from here we'll go to this, put the data source. From here, SQL, which we did in the last class also. New connection. Just refresh this. You can see the databases here. And then our test connection is okay. So we can go from here and we can copy this from here also. Okay, this connectivity, I'm copying it from here. So we can test the query also. And see, we are having this table here, which we did in the last class. Okay. So now this one is working. And here for this one, we'll go to this place again. And here I told you first we'll write down the library. And the next time we'll write down the further ones. Okay, so we have taken both. So here again, I will start the connectivity portion I told you. So for the connectivity portion, basically what we require here is SQL connection object first. With the name, suppose I'm writing with the name con. Then we need to have this con as a means as a portion of connectivity. So here we'll be using this method. I will show you here. Okay, this is the connectivity portion. So we'll use this method here. We'll providing this here with the data source, and then we'll use this. First, we'll connect it using this new data source and add the rate, and then we'll write down this. So what I will do here, I will again go back to this. So I'll write on con equals to new SQL connection, and inside this, I will put this with the at the rate symbol and within double quotes, everything within double quotes. So this is showing an error because it's not really, because this will be passed as a string. Okay. So let's check it. Okay. So in order to just check this, we can directly check it. If we don't have like just we have got this. Okay. So like they have checked it here. Let me show you. So like this here, you can connect it to the database, and then you can check it also. Okay. So like just wanted to check it here. Then you'll have, we'll use this object con dot open. That is important here. Okay. And then we need to execute this query like we have done this. So we'll execute this much query here. So I'm just copying this one, but we'll do it by ourselves. So we'll just use this here. I'll put it here. But this query will be totally different. This will be text box one dot text. And this I will copy from here and keep it here. And the rest I will remove. So I will just putting it here, and the rest I will remove. So these I don't require because we don't have this much. So we have till here only. Okay. We have only two text boxes in this. So we name this as text box one, text box two. And here I will create SQL command object also. So I will, so SQL command object is basically used to fire the command. So SQL, I will write on here. SQL command is used to send query to the database. Insert into, then we need to write down the table name. So the table name is, we have not created it yet. So I will write down here student 2. Okay. So need to separate these first from here. Then I will write down the correct name, that is con. And after this, in the end, we'll close the connection. Close is also function. So I'll write down this. First, let's create the table first. So let me copy this query from here. So table name is 2. So I created it from here. Okay. So I will delete this command and I will check it whether it is created or not. So see, the table has been created. Let's go to this place here and check it whether we have only two fields. So this is text box 1, this is text box 2. This is already connected to one of the databases. And I can change this one also because there is no data here. So what I will do, I'll fire here query insert into student 2 values, and the values we are writing here is the first the username. So username is, and then the comma. So username is, suppose I'm giving v and the code. Execute this one affected. So I will change it again. At the place of Shanvi, you can write down v plus Shanvi 10456. So I've inserted two data. You can select the query from here. Select student 2. Okay, so we have two data already here. So I will connect this to the same table which we have done. So I will just change this because I'm just going to create it here. So I'm going to add new data source here. New connection. Again, I will do the same thing from here. Succeeded. Next. Next. So we don't want the faculty one. We want the student to which we have connected now. We have two fields here. Next. You can test the connection. You can see these are the data that is there. You can see from here also. I'll finish it. And also because there are two columns, we have two data sources here. We have connected to two tables, whichever we want, we can use it. So here what we have done, we have created the this and we have connected to the this thing and we have written the command, we have fired this query and we wanted to insert this to the database now. Okay, now let's run it and let's see what happens. Open documents, let's save it, let's run it, let's check it. So this is connecting properly. Now if I write down here and enrollment numbers for writing here. Clicking on insert here. So now let's go to the database and check it. If I execute this query from here. So you can see the data that I have inserted has worked. You can see admin and this. Can you see this? We are sending data from there and we are getting it here. Okay. Are you getting? So see, we have inserted from the table and we have got the database here. So we have inserted from here and just now we have got it. So suppose I'm writing my name only here. Suppose I'm writing Akhand and I'm writing my enrollment number, suppose 203145. If I click on insert, you can go here and you can fire this query and you can see this record has also been inserted. So that means it is working. So now you can insert the data from the application to the database. Okay. So now we need to apply this on all of your pages, this connectivity. And there is one more thing. If I refresh this page and you can see all the data here only. We don't have to go to the database to check it. So let me run it again, this application only from here. And now you'll see whatever I'm update. If I run every time, you see all the database here. That is why I have added this grid value. So whatever you add, you can see here. So this is the complete database thing that you can see from there. So I've just taken two columns because just I wanted to show you, you can have a number of text boxes, a number of other controls, and you can send it the data from there also. Okay. So here is the code which you need to use, and this will work. This much only you have to use it. Okay. So in order to do that, you can fire other queries also. This is not the same. There are a lot of queries that can be fired. This is one of them. Okay. So just remember this. I'm just copying this code from here also. Send it to you. So now my major portion is complete. We'll have 2-3 classes more in that. We'll just show you how to do more way. These are the basic ways. In the next class, I will be showing you this thing again. And in this, I will add more controls and I will show you from that how to get it. The way is this only. First, you will create it. First, you will connect to the this. You will use the library files, data and data SQL client both. So these libraries have these connection names. So we'll have SQL connection that is used for connectivity. We have given one name on. This can be C, C1, C2, whatever input name you want, you can keep it. Then again name I have used, and in this we pass as a parameter the data source. This you will get it from here. You connect it here, see this server name, and you check it. This is the same. So this is from here to here. Data source means whatever the server name is, this is server name. Initial catalog means database name, which database you want to connect. Then in integrated security, when you use a Windows authentication mode, then we use the integrated security. Okay, we give it a name integrated security. Then SQL command CMD we use to fire the command because we wanted to fire the insert command from here. Then in order to fire the command, you need to open the connection. We need to take the variable one string because this command is for the SQL connection and this is in a form of a string will be passed to the database. So you are writing the same command that you write in the database, but here we write down the values directly when we use in the database. But when you send it from the page, because user will enter into the text box one, text box two, or drop down list or whatever it is. So you need to pass that control here. Okay. So you just have to pass the controls. If you have 10 controls, you can place 10 controls. You have 5, you have 20, 50, whatever you have, you paste it here. Then you open this CMD, and in this CMD means command, we need to send two things. What is the command? That is in S. Second, where has to be sent. That information is in con. So it has to be sent to the database name IIT. There is a table name student2. There it will be sent. Okay. Then this is a command which is known as execute non-query. Okay. So you need to call this function execute non-query and your command will be executed, and after that you need to close the connection. Okay. We can check it also if I put if condition, if I put CMD execute non-query equals to true. If it is giving me true value, that means connection is successful and database data has been inserted. Okay. So this is I will share with you, and you need to work on this and you need to do it. Okay. Clear? So that's it from my side.